you guys have all had a good day so far. I know I have. For the most part. Oh, I'm doing good. Sorry, Miso, I just saw that. I was like kind of running around and doing other things. But I hope you're having a good day so far. Sit down. Woo! Can't be running around the house like all crazy. Let me see here. So we're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday. Because I was honestly hella dumb. Oh, actually, hold on. Okay, now I'm back. I gotta put a fan on. So, like I was saying, I was super dumb yesterday because I didn't realize what I needed to do as a next step, and it was over here, which is talk, and it was up here, dependent nature, which I didn't see, but you guys probably saw, unlike me, because I was looking at the bottom right here. Oh boy. Well, let's continue on now. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impacts. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will to live, but why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celeste Impacts, was gone forever. That's why. Why would you? Why would that? Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After she attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can absolutely trust. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others. When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude, it's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Attempted suicide report added to the court record. Attempted suicide report. Adrian Andrews shocked from Celeste Impacts' suicide. Okay. I think this is where we're able to move on from here. But I know this was, like, this area is more heavy in terms of, like, obviously toxic suicide. If you yourself are feeling like this, please reach out to someone. You are loved. And you are welcomed. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone does. You are loved and you are still welcomed within, well, at least within my house. But there is someone within your life who is a pillar to you. You just need to be able to breathe. Not in the sense, but more or less like, let them know, hey, I need help. It's hard and it's difficult as someone who knows all too well, but please do reach out. Okay. So we're going to continue on this conversation, or at least we're going to continue on the playthrough for the most part. So, sorry to be so solemn, but it had to be said. Alright, let's move out. March 21st, Gatewater Hotel on guard's room. Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Francesca von Karma. Miss von Karma? What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so... You've got some nerve following me around. Following you? That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following. Pearls. You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little bread. With the little beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting. Little girl. What does that look like? What is it called? What does that look like? The Dragon Ball finder from Dragon Ball Z. What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So, what noise we heard? So that noise that we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews? Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right. What were those two talking about? Miss Andrews seems a little dazed, doesn't she? Well, let's see what we could talk to her now. I'm pretty sure now we can break her psych lock, honestly. So let me present over here. Motive for murder. Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason why he was killed. Why are you pretending to hide things? Don't you realize you're putting up Mr. On Guard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida. You were not that close? That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person. And you are not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow, I highly doubt that. And that's what we provide. Nope, wrong one. That's... Actually, no, I think it is that one. I don't know how to do the... Let me see here. Let me present the clipping first. You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you ever had half of your wits about you, you wouldn't believe in such rubbish. Oh, is she British? Well, it seems quite a few people already bought this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on our good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get closer to someone? Me? Need to get close to Mr. Corrida, as if there was such a need. Didn't you get closer to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake? Celeste impacts your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Ooh, that's one done. Miss Impact committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So, I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death, none. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is this really true? Was this really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way she died. And that's when we go over here and... Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck. Okay, didn't mean to translate that one. It was evidence. And then that's when we go, I think, to her suicide. Present the suicide report. Let me present this. Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Kurita. Juan? And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. This is why you became intimate with Mr. Kurita. Oh, damn. Honestly, though, that's like a valid reason. At least for her, you know what I mean? Let's see here. I'm trying to fix my, my pop filter in front of my mic because I keep on hitting it. Okay. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. I had nothing to do with me. I don't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste's impact was very special and close to you. It was your own suicide. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it, didn't you? Went through with that? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying on yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, this is all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. When Celeste passed away, so suddenly like that? I lied. I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what became of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said that the police suspected Mr. Kurita of hiding Miss Impact's note. You heard about it, and you thought you recover it by getting close to him, am I right? If that was the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on? It was why the victim was killed. Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one reason to want Mr. Kurita dead. Me? Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she was killed yourself. Even commit murder. Murder? Here we go. Unlock successful. Alright. Motive for murder. It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small, and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. Oh. I believe I've been pushed again, or I've been pushed against all that, though, and I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews! This one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews. All I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Creta. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were all out to get me. So you got close to Miss Creta to recover her note, correct? Looks like that tabloid report the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for suicide note, I didn't. And wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me. That's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so I understand. Oh. And I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide? I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews? If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. All right, I understood. So we'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews. I guess she was overthinking. She was the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking about through first. Oh. Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something? What is it? Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back. Yeah, the shell card. That's like very particular. That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. Is it the magic conch? The conch! I don't know. What does it look like? Or that's what it looks like, doesn't it? A seashell? I don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Her not remembering something so clearly sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Enguarde in your capable hands, quote unquote. Alright, I guess we gotta move on then. So I don't think there's anything else for us to look at. Let me look at the court record. Because I'm pretty sure we have everything for the most part. So let me go back to the office. Oh. March 21st, Gatewater Hotel hallway. Well, I think we've gathered all we can, as I said. What about Mystic Maya? Is she all right? Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all, and she's been walking all over the place with me today. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right? Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine, I really am. Don't look fine to me. All right. Let's take our pseudo sister home. I guess in the sense she would be considered like our little sister. Or at least because she's like 8, so she's like our kid, but she's our sister. So let's go back to I think that's all we can do is just head back to the law office, honestly. March 21st, Wright & Co. Law Office. So, what now? Well, we find one thing out for sure. We did find out one thing for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. You mean Miss Impact's suicide note? That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Do we have a fucking tracker on us? Oh my god. Wait, how did Francesca plant a tracker on me? Oh, Mr. Nick, the transceiver! Oh, it's not the transceiver, it's a tracker. Hello? Wright & Co. Law Office? Mr. Attorney, you are not answering a phone. Oh, Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone with a few feet of her this whole time. You. Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her. Very well. Ask Maya, is that you? Sis, ask my sis. Maya, damn it! He cut me off. Miss Maya asked my sis, didn't she? Sis? Does she mean by that? Oh, wait, she wants pearls. Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry? Ah! Yep, Pearl reached to the other side. Or actually, no, I'm pretty sure Mia probably just came on through. Mia! I have a message from Maya, so come on, ask me anything you want about her. All right, let's talk. Maya's situation. How's Maya? She's safe, for now. That kidnapper is the one keeping his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use a spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. All right, the kidnapper. The kidnapper? What's he like? I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And she didn't even see the face of her attacker. Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard while I was with her. When you were with her? Date unknown, time unknown, location unknown, but to us, it looks like a wine cellar. Oh. I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not gonna die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Examine everything. What's this? I feel like there's a lot of glass bottles here. Oh, so it's like kind of dark for her, but for us, we can see it's a wine cellar. Okay, I gotcha. And these, they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm not really hungry. Or, I'm not really thirsty. The barrels. Oh, there's a card on the floor. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. Oh, the seashell. The magic conch shell. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Okay. Let's look over here. There's all sorts of there's all sorts of things piled up here. But it's too dark to see. It's too dark, I can't hear you. As I like to say, from Patrick. I think that's it. Oh, the door. Drat, it's locked. But this door lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that somewhere, or around here somewhere I could use. Oh, that's it! This shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be the key my key to get out of here. I have a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. All right, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. Look, I did it. Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I should keep Nick waiting or worried. To be continued. Ooh. Alright, that's the end of that part. We literally had 30 minutes left of the first chapter. I can't. I'm done. Let me come over here real quick. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will inflict you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, all right? I can't let any sort of a scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Mia, we must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Oh. It's him. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya? She's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how should I say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is that winning today's trial. Grr. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. I wish I had a voice changer. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win today's contest, if you please. Wait. The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer, dude, who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget about anything you heard. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Because he's fucking lying. March 22nd, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 3. What the fuck? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Are the prosecutor and the defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Excuse me. Francesca? Mia? ¿Por qué? Where are you? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep... Did the kidnapper grab... Oh, SentryBot, thank you so much for deleting, for blocking that spam. Anyways, did the kidnapper take Miss Von Karma? Holy crap. Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. That's even worse. Oh my god. What? Shot? Somehow, I think this present is the man was referring to. Yep, I think so too, honestly. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be but your advantage. But this is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she all right? I don't have that answer. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. You. You're... excuse me? What are you doing here, sir? Your Honor. Due to the circumstances, Miss Francesca Moncarma will not appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. Like old times, but no. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Miss Von Karma was shot on her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Okay, she's okay. No major organs, just the shoulder. But I know I've been calling her a bitch this whole time, but my poor baby girl, she's been shot. Luckily, I have looked this case over and I'm familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ungard. Nah, she's a bitch. Me too. But she's your bitch. Hey, yo. I'll allow it. That's funny. Right? I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my year-long journey. I finally helped. By the time this case comes to the end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. My man. My man! Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now. Oh no, for now, my baby! For now? After this trial's over, I am supposed to turn in my badge, sir. No! He needs to be able to afford his instant root noodles, damn it! Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Ugh. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If you want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be Edgeworth as my opponent, like how it should be, but... my baby. The answer he is struggling for is interesting. Excuse me. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Fairfax. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carrito, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the case of the death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant were alone in their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Bare facts of the case. Cross-examination. So I gotta be fucking on point. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. Let me press him. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. And then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start at the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? which is to say the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period. Please continue your testimony, Detective. The victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is Adrian Andrews? Who is this Adrian Andrews you were talking about? She's the defendant. She's the defendant, Matt Engarde's manager. She's a rather pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to go get Mr. Engarde. After visiting his room, she went next door to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see. And that's where the victim was found. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Press him. There was a cause of death, wasn't there? That's because Mr. Carita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless, sir, or pal. Take a look. Take a good, hard look at that crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to the bandana. Bandana? Banana. His bandana, sir. That's tightly wrapped around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. That's interesting. Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We have a crafty murderer on our hands. Autopsy report. Time of death, 8:15 p.m. Cause of death, strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. At first, we thought that there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. And then let me press him here. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The German samurai doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime and get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. Ah, so much for my theory then. Guitar case empty. There was some water, but only on top of the lid bears Carita's fingerprints. Okay. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Can we press him here? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently taken only the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yeah, sir. Even when he was out on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So the guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the knife. With the knife. It had nothing to do with the case after all. Sorry, my mom was asking something. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Engarde? Because there was no reason enough to suspect him. There was a reason to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Why arrest Engarde? Matt Engarde and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. Aside from the evidence, there's a Gem and Ninja button. It was ripped off the ninja costume. It was found on Mr. Enguarde's Hakama? And the defendant's fingerprints were also found on the knife. The defendant brought the knife to the crime, which caused his premeditated murder. Oh, I didn't get to hear earlier because I ran off for a second. How are you doing, Tony? I'm doing well. I'm kind of dumb, honestly, because at the beginning I had said that I was looking around for what I needed, and I was like, where's the next evidence? Where's the next evidence? I went to Reddit, and I ended up finding out that it was the option was at the top of the screen and not at the bottom of the options. So yeah, that was fun. And I literally I spam clicked through 30 minutes worth of content in order to get back to where it was. It was fun. But yeah, aside from that, I'm doing okay. Yep. Poor Tony. Yeah. I was a little dumb. It's actually funny because the Reddit post I found that referenced the same thing I was looking for also called themselves a dumbass, and I was like, yes, that's how I feel. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Bears the victim's blood and Enguarde's fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater is engraved. What is up with that hotel having so many scandals? I'm glad you're doing okay. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Yep. And then there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, sir. We know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Gem and Ninja's button added. Was ripped from the costume covered in Kurita's blood and found on Enguarde's Hakama. All of this points clearly to the defendant, does it not? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find that hole in your argument somehow. Like old times. The husbands are fighting. You can press as hard as you'd like, but just hurry with your usual pointless questions. Why unrest and guard? So I gotta make sure I'm thoroughly asking him at every, whatchamacallit. Let me press him. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Enguarde won, did he not? Yeah, but you know, that's ironic, Bao. Juan Kurita was always the one step behind Mr. Enguarde in everything. This year, it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Kurita lost the Grand Prix in the end. This is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. They each thought the other guy was in his way, and the motive was, that's important enough in my book. Wait, just one second here. Mr. Enguarde was beating up Mr. Kurita in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that, in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means that he had no motive to kill at all. Look at him, standing there. Yes, quite. I agree. Well, detective? It's not well. I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Objection! Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, he wasn't fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. Damn it. No! My poor baby, his money. Now, detective, let's continue with this testimony. Sir, not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We'll talk about my pension later, sir. Oh, what? What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? My poor baby lost. He couldn't get his money. As for evidence, there was the Gemma Ninjas button. Okay, we're gonna press him here. Do you have any proof the button belonged to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Gemma Ninja's costume. But can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared the blood on there as afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. All right, I knew it had to be a piece of evidence. Now, to reel this one in. Thread. The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And the thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread of the button, he's being a lot more nice now to Gumshoe. Oh my god. Progress. But honestly, though, we don't know what happened in his time away from here. I wonder. It's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. Ugh. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. It ripped off the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Engarde's Hakama. Okay. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And we did a search on them, and that's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Oh! Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. Okay, so let me press him here. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you mean? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Mr. Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So, is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? The defendant and the crime and the knife? Oh my god. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this, oh my gosh. Premeditated murder. If I can totally read would be nice. But he didn't actually bring it with him. Well, he brought it from the room, but it's from the Gatewater, so we're gonna present the knife to him. Let me see here. Because of it being also close to where we need to be, save here. I'm gonna save. Alright, so we're gonna go to present the knife because he didn't bring it.
Objection!
Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument is that this was a premeditated murder is simply that. My client brought a knife beforehand? Well, that's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Oh, we have ads in 3 minutes, guys. Just a heads up. Take a look at this handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has the Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Oh! The murder knife... The murder knife was actually the property of the hotel. Which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, this is very true. This is the very beginning. This is very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? Look at him, thinking. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is a hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not realize this. But I didn't know. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Kurita's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. He didn't even have a knife. He had a bunch of chips. And he had a drink, and that's all he had. The victim was last meal was before he was murdered. With this being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to the top of the table. Not just that. Okay, so you guys can't see it, but his knife, there's like a knife set at the bottom with a fork and like a bottle of tomato sauce or a bottle of tomato juice. No, I think it's apple juice, actually. There was a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? Oh, ad's starting now in 48 seconds. So I'm probably gonna finish this bit right here, and then I'll probably go on a quick break for like 5 minutes. If this pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Engarde. Right there, it's missing. Especially what was on top of the table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and we were investigating. We came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Engarde's knife was missing. Mr. Engarde had gone to the victim's room with the knife, and he had used during dinner. And that is why he was carrying the knife to visit, to kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution was proven. This was premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant, and a clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth had planned this from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps I was walking into all along. A murder weapon, the fingerprints, and a button of the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your time, Your Honor. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means the evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does that defense have to say, Mr. Wright? Well... Oh, crap, we're in ads. Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If you answer with something wrong here, the gavel of his will be ringing, or that gavel of his will be ringing out the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important to present to the court? All right. Guys, I have been muted this whole time. Oh my god. Hold on. We're doing a redo, guys. We're doing a redo. Okay, we are... let me load back. No, not that one. Alright, we're redoing it, because apparently I was, So, we did this. Let me see here. So we presented the knife. Here. Oh, fuck, wrong one. Okay, so I need to present the knife, I think, over here. No, it was over here. Present the knife. Objection! Okay, sorry guys. I totally missed, like... I didn't realize I was, like, still muted. We're just gonna hurry through. This is basically what I was doing last night, was literally just smashing my way through. Okay. Need something. I need something to write down. One time I don't have a Sharpie is crazy. Come on, come on, come on. Sorry, guys. Yes. This is where we last left off. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Actually, I do. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs continuation at all. However, I'm giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, Miss Wright, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for us all. You may now present your one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you want to show the court? Wine glass. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime one more time. The scene is a mess because the victim struggled against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Yes, well, I see your point. However, this glass was sitting on top of the dresser and is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that is not fallen over, along with everything else, is this glass of wine. This piece of evidence is more strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you have to say? Well, yes. It is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion. Because here, there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there, after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Miss Andrews really have been set that glass down without thinking? There's no way. It appears weak here, but the trial is over. I can look at my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and certainly, and point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then, of course, it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There was only one set of fingerprints left on the wine glass. Well, those were... They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews. What? Found next to the victim. It was filled with tomato juice and bears Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Grr, I can't believe I fell into another trap. Oh, God. Miss Andrews was... Oh my God, I hit my mic. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Miss Akrita. But upon seeing his body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What? What you said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. What do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. Grr. I've thought long and hard about this past year, about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I can't allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has another witness we would like to hear from the court. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? I think he's stalling for time. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand.
I tell you this time, I know. So tomorrow, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with the terrible crime.
Miss Witness, what that terrible crime is all the court needs to know. Fucking ratting him.
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, ma'am. No, 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 please. By all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true that they say that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on the security detail of the hotel of the night in the murder. This is correct, Miss Oldbag.
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little old heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look everyone, it's crazy that on guard saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not to me. I wouldn't say anything so silly, even though you're like kind of drooling over Edgeworth right now, bud. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in the real man, Juan Carita.
But what, those two are the same age? I think it's just because he looks older. His face looks older.
Anyhow, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
What you witnessed.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding in, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out for the whole time.
Oh my god.
That's when someone showed up, and it was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
Oh, Lord. So Mr. On Guard came out of the victim's room.
See, it was to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. What you witnessed.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of his room. Ooh.
Let me press her here. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show. But I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for the lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
Oh my god, girl. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door.
It was something I was interested in finding out, you know.
Something you were interested in figuring out? And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I could just go around telling everyone, you know. It was top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing that she is interested in? I have no idea. I've despised gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? Was it the gossip tabloid? Because, like, we have a gossip tabloid when Lotta was looking around to see if, like, a woman was in her room. Or was in his room. But it should prove relevant. We can always have it append to her statement later. I don't know why I struggled so hard right there. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness say or stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to go out, or to keep a good eye out the whole time.
Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went out of Mr. Carita's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit track of how old I am, really.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, when the witness then saw was someone, correct?
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan Carita's room.
Mm-hmm. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. But that sort of information has to be carefully guarded for the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of the room of the moon.
Why is she saying it so slow?
The man that came out of Juan's room. He was.
Yes, he was.
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what would I give to have Francesca whip right about now?
Well, I guess I could tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was a god, Matt on God. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
All right, let's press her here. You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Really?
That annoying brat. When I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get the sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve a bit deeper. The person's clothes. Please tell the court about the man's clothes, because last year when she was on the witness stand, she said Will Power, who was the Steel Samurai at the time. The Steel Samurai at the time was the one who killed Matt on guard, but she only saw the outfit of the Steel Samurai. She actually didn't see his face or anything. So, you know, if it's a repeat again, I wouldn't be surprised.
What a troublesome young man you are, really. As if something like that matters.
But it does.
No. What was it? Oh, yes. It was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out that what part of the testimony was important. Don't you see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right, witness, please.
All right. I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Girl, you badmouth everyone without reason.
He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it was all for show.
Okay. Let me... Alright. What do I do now? Do I press the... Actually, that's kind of weird, because if he was wearing his flashy jacket, wasn't he wearing, he was wearing something else, wasn't he? His, Hamakura or Hakama? And that's when they found something else, so he definitely wasn't wearing his jacket. Okay, let me present this. Yeah, because honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to present the button, because he definitely, if he was wearing his jacket, that means that he actually wasn't wearing a Hakura or oh my god, the other outfit. Hakama. Come on, buddy.
Objection!
Miss Oldbag.
What? What do you say my name for no reason?
Do you know what this is?
It's a button number 2 on the Gem and Samurai.
Oh my god. That's very particular.
It's a button number 2 on the Gem and Samurai Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's obsessed fan. She identified it at a single glance.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. The little rat-a-tat. Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search. See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Unguard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. His hakama pants. See? And Unguard in the nickel is the nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say the defendant, Matt Unguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Oh, damn, girl. Got him. Ah, I'm sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the oh my god, there she goes. It's something. Now, hold your tongue still for a second. So, what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Unguard, the man, but Mr. Unguard, the nickel samurai? But when you think about it, oh girl, they really are one and the same anyway. No, they're not. Dude, you did the same shit last year. This old bag, this is very important thing we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Sigh, all right, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. On God. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai. That's right, it was the nickel samurai I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And he had to go to the post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Oh, bud, I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside the costume. What? Did you think that there could have been someone else inside the costume? Dude, we did a repeat of last year. Don't be bad. Don't be a bad little boy and thinking of such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, you youngins today, I tell you, there is no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she was a delightful witness. At least she's just as a delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mm-hmm. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Alright, so this one's pretty easy. I can literally just go over here. Okay. Let me press right here. Be a little more careful when you testify, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and he's not? Not too long ago. Let me ask you. Oh. Let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Uh-huh. What did you want to be when you grew up, Whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, a hero of the public's court. Who? So what? See? At Look at where you're now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything, and I can be held responsible for the past.
Since when did the court become a theatrics of testimonies?
All that matters is that what that man was inside the costume. Is it enough?
Oh, I got a Judge Wagner achievement. Love it. All right. Let's see here.
It was him who had been convenient for him to wear the costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know.
That's fair, honestly, but I think you're best again.
So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
All right, let me present the knife.
Objection!
Please take a look at this knife.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you were trying to scam me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is so important in the case? You don't even have to ask. It's because of the defendant's fingerprints, and if he was wearing the costume, it wouldn't have fingerprints on there. Well, it depends on the material, but still, semantics. Is this what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are you driving at? And whose car are we driving? Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder. Then it's important for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right away. Now that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Objection!
He probably took off his gloves before he began stabbing.
Objection!
I think Miles is really trying to throw the case right now, honestly. And why would he do something like that? To leave his fingerprints on the weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is only one possibility. Let's hear this possibility. It is very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. And at the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk to the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. I don't know. But the murder still did take place. Well, it's well known that there had been bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Yes. I heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edward's theory? Sorry. Water. So let me get this straight. Edward's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. And now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Yeah. There's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for the argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer, if that's the case. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the room without intent. So we'll present the knife again, because it's just, like, it's too... Like, him wearing a glove, and I honestly think Miles is trying to really throw this case. This knife, this was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner. Yes, he did establish that, which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At the time, the defendant held no intent for murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, wouldn't he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory is flawed from suspicion one. I totally butchered it. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time, then there should have been glove marks left on the knife. Which means that the defendant's fingerprints should have been all over the like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide the identity and mislead us. Order, order, I say order, order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Matt on guard. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if it were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Ah! Yep. Witness. Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Girl... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean it. I really do anything about that now. I can't really do anything about that now. It looks like I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret. That's top secret. Anyone outside of security. If I had a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Kurita, am I correct, witness? Ha ha ha. The way you think. No, you were a sad amateur with such a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly a possibility. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Which was Adrian Andrews, because as we know now, she was involved with Juan Kurita as like in an intimate way. Even though she didn't want to, she did it. And oh my gosh. And so with all the tabloids and stuff like that, that's kind of fueling the fire. So, you know, she was waiting for her. But wasn't she down at the lobby, like, getting shit together? I'm gonna present this regardless. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article. And if it could be called such a thing. Then this manager, with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away the whole swoon of confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this one. That's a very cute outfit. Yes. My sister showed me her outfit. Sorry, guys.
I've got some information, some very secret information about a certain source.
Oh, no.
So that's why I was doing my own little investigation, in secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of your sails, youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Shadow God is an evil one, an evil man. He thought he could ruin my poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close to him. I could not condone such a dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and on top of the secret you got, no one else but you and me know, okay?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? No one's above gossip. And it isn't there saying, isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true? This proves that the defendant will bear ill will toward the victim. So this means I have to smash the rumor once again for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, Oldbag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, on God. It's nothing but your average full-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway into the danger zone.
God is an evil man. Evil man. He thought he could ruin my poor Juan by... He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal.
Let me say evil man. Let me actually press her here.
You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. That isn't true. What woman was getting intimate with the poor Juan? Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A.
But the name of the magazine this comes from is called Gossipland.
What? What are you saying? That gossip is just a pack of lies? What do you know? Suppose next you'll answer to me that the news is 100% true.
Yeah.
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discriminate? What did I do? I didn't do anything like that.
Miss, anyway, and God will never get to me to say touche. He thought he could ruin my poor Juan by causing a huge scandal.
All right, let me press her here. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
She thinks I'm in middle school?
Ah, no, I wasn't asking about the word scandal means, even if I know that much. Well, that God thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. So, to do that, he sent his poor manager to get close to Juan. cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action.
All right, let me press her here.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Ungar did any such thing. You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. Now, since you're in so much shock, you can't say anything right. You're right. I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you. All right then, Sunny, show me what you've got. You can show me proof that Ungar didn't bear any ill will toward Juan.
Ow. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I can present evidence. Actually, no. Can I present evidence?
Stolen the night of the murder. Tabloid article about the victim was in the case.
I guess we can. Am I on the fifth statement? I think I am. I'm not going to let you push me around that easily.
There's many a man who said that exact words and paid dearly for them.
Well then, you should brace yourself this time.
Here's my proof that Mr. Ungar did not hold any ill will toward the victim.
What
is that it? Oh no. What are you what are you handing it over to me for? So you can give that jagged-headed baboon head a message, or baboon boy a message for me, please. Tell him that no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at is failing.
What she said, right? Or should I say baboon boy? Well, I agree. This isn't— damn it! I wasn't on the—
Did I just gain a new nickname here? Are you lecturing me about saying things without proof? You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway.
No. I don't have any proof, but okay, dude, I don't know what got me messed up because I'm pressing through right now and I'm making sure there's nothing else, and obviously something else. So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. And once a slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was gonna capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good, her a lesson?
I was gonna make her eat her damaging beams of my ray gun.
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. Oh, and then on top of this, oh my god. And this is top secret, you know that? Nobody else knows about me and you. Or know about it, okay?
No, it's right here. I don't know why. Dude, I totally fucked myself. He sent in with a... So what to do? He sent his own manager to go close to Juan. That's right here. I don't know. Dude, oh my god. I don't know why I totally blanked out right there. Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information no one else knows. If that's true, then how do you know the secret information?
Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find it.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? I wonder... Let's present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know the secret information, correct? Oh wait, yeah! Like I was fucking reading it right now. Duh. Because Lotta was there, like I said literally just now.
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it!
Witness. I hate to say this, but is the... Oh my god. I hate to say this, but this is how you came to acquire the secret info, isn't it? It's the camera that was stolen! The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had a lot of certain notes, or she had lost a certain note that she had written to herself. She reported such a thing. A piece of paper she had written down some of her outer rigo or impressions. But the relationship between the victim and Miss Anderson. What outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. This is the note.
No, you didn't see. This is something completely different. This is a top secret list of my groceries to buy.
Oh, girl. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That's it. The infamous puppy head whippersnapper. She's working with that evil On Guard. She said so herself. On Guard, I'm his sidekick. She is so happy, smiling like a silly duck. So I was only checking what she was writing. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like an angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match with your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook just this once. She looks like she really is sorry. Should I forgive her? Pile on more pressure. If I were to let her up now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Oh, add sorry now in 3 minutes, everyone. 3 minutes! Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is that correct?
Stole? Why didn't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper for the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it. I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. You stole her fucking camera! Miss Oldbag, that note that was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie 1600 camera disappeared on me. What? Witness?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it would only be logical that you have the camera too.
Grr. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera that you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even if I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I'll still eat meals like you. I'll fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I say that woman's business. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it. A slime bag celebrity photographer extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know some sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Girl. Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? All right, we have ads right now in 42 seconds, so I'm going to go on a quick break. I'll be right back. But I also don't want you guys to miss the action. So BRB.
Let's go.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have? What do we have? There's only one photo. Oh. Thank you, Dad, for the strawberry cow. I appreciate it. My name. Can't you hear the bumblebee swarm watching your heart? Oh, when you look my way. Gotta fix myself now. There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. No worries, have fun. I will then. Thank you. Oh, cool. This is the Nickel Samurai. Nah, someone else is in that outfit. Look at it. The person who's in there is too small. See, I told you. No. See, I told you. Yeah, that's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about the matter. Lada's photo added to the court record. Picture taken in the hallway right after the murder. What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person is the defendant. However, in his confession, Mr. Engarde clearly stated at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is... Oh. The defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. No. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? This photo really is decisive. Then we're done for. But what if I raise an objection here and now and blow it? Then I could put Maya's life in jeopardy. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to raise an objection. Yeah, there's something strange with it. There's something strange about this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree that there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with the bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is this what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What is strange about this photo? His feet. Look at that. See? His feet are different. I would like to direct the court's attention right here to this area. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does this mean? The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. Engarde. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you really care to elaborate with actual facts this time. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Look at that. Because he's tall enough to... see, he's tall. You can see his ankles. Please pay attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside his costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. All right. I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. Like I've been saying, he's been calm as fuck, and it's weird as hell. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only here for the ride. Yeah, I've been saying it this whole time. Something's definitely up with him. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. Doesn't feel under attack, then I haven't damaged his case at all. Mr. Edgeworth, what does this leave us? If this person in this photo is not Matt Engarde, then everything this prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven this person inside the costume is not Matt Engarde. In that case, who is this photo really of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. You should be focused on Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah. Why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is this person in the autograph or in the photograph? Andrews. Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who the Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engarde's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engarde that night. How does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engarde's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon? Why don't you just say what you... Oh my gosh. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carita. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order, order, order! It looks like this trial has hit an most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. All right, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, shall we set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow? What am I supposed to do? The judge is supposed to adjourn the court. Raise an objection. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she is not... I abhorred wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to the unexpected development. Tisk, unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to the plan, even if Wright is a bit slow to catch on. What? What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecutor's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Dude, he is one fucking step ahead of everything. Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call for the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Oh. To be continued. Save your progress. Yes, ma'am. Fucking one step ahead. We love a Miles Edgeworth. Excuse me. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had an easy access to your knife you use at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? Oh, damn. He took a fucking nap, too. Ooh. I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See? She could have also easily planted that blood... Oh. See? She could have easily also planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was just the one who murdered Juan Carita. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be all right. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix. You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact's as her strength and reason to live. But when Miss Carita suddenly killed herself, it sounds like she had left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it. Is Juan Carita the victim of the murder? And that's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What is it? Who was it that first told us about the relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts. It was Edgeworth! It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. This is not good! Ooh. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court Room number 3. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please, if you must. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime, the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room. What is your occupation? I am a manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ungard. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No. I have no idea what you mean. I've never heard of the Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Krita. I was also aware of the rivalry existed between Matt and Juan. But that was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. Oh, or that was bait and fry, reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well. Then witness, please testify to the court. What happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place? It was time for the show to start, so I had went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. And there I was, naturally, the exact same scene in the crime scene photo. I had felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the crime scene. I was disturbed. I disturbed the crime by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may now cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She's one cool and collected customer. She has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense, it's the instant this trial is over. Understood? Okay, that means we gotta be tight. It was the time of the show to start, so I had went to go get Matt in his room. Let me press her here. And what was Mr. Engarde doing at that time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Engarde did say he was taking a nap. Well, I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? What are you?
Objection!
Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to structure a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I will make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Engarde's knife from the room? No. Subject, verb, objective, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there, his dead body, I was in shock. All right, let me come over here. Let me press her here. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? I'm gonna let her be. I should back off. As long as I don't have any proof, she's not gonna talk. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? And there, his dead body, I was in shock. I saw... Oh my god. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Pressure here. Juice? Yes. There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There was no lip marks left on the wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier. She would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offense and not let her up. That's the only way you're going to catch her, is with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something for Maya's sake. And god damn it. I wonder... And press her again. Juice? Yes, there's a bottle. You didn't drink any of it, huh? The lip marks. Let me go back over here. This is the photo you were referring to, correct? Yep. Yes. The one with the knife lodged into his chest. The guitar case was like this too? Yes. It was open and empty on the course. No, it was not open. It was probably closed. And then wide. And then what did you do next, witness? As I thought I was about to faint, I poured myself a glass of juice. Let me press her again. Huh? I feel like I have to just keep on pressed. Because it's not letting me do anything. Juan's room. There was a dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock? What? What was I supposed to? Andrew is a very calculating person. Despite how close they are, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Krita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be in shock. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm you one more time. When you discovered the body, when you discovered the dead body of Juan Krita, you were in great shock? And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind was really complete blank at that time. Your mind was in a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. Never mind. It's not a big deal. Ooh, press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that you said you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. A flower vase? Are you talking about the one in the crime scene photo? Oh my. The mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. But then I bumped into it with my elbow and it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought this, since it was the crime scene had already been in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you could test or to reveal your oh my gosh. You have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I don't touch anything else. I didn't touch anything else. The one who knocked was the one who knocked over the case where the guitar case fell on it. But I was naturally the exact same scene as the photo. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as the... There's the one who knocked over the flower vase where it fell onto the guitar case. Because... But here's the thing though, if it had fell onto the case, it was on top of the case. Let me see here. Let me go to present. Can't present just yet. There's some water on top of the lid. So let me see here. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna present. Aha, there is a contradiction, which was at the end because she said she dropped it on her, on the case. She had dropped the flower vase on the case, but she didn't. Well, she did, but it was on top of the case. So the case was then opened. So that's fun. Let me see here. I'm gonna present it here as well.
Objection!
You testify that you knocked that flower vase over. Is that correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that on top of the guitar case was wet water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, you testify that the vase had fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, then the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. See, contradiction. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one strange thing about this guitar case. What is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open and the vase fell, the glass shards would have been inside and not outside the case.
Objection!
What is your point, right? That was the case was closed at the time and the vase was knocked over. Is that all?
Objection!
No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yeah, she did. She touched the freaking briefcase. The briefcase. The guitar case. Yes, that is right. She did implicably say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It was no bearing to this case at all. That may be very well, however, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to the case, doesn't it? It does seem that there is no deeper meaning of the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you need to hear anything more? We're gonna make her testify. The empty guitar case.
I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Huh? I can't believe anyone would react to reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. All right, I will follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, the guitar case. I don't remember too clearly because I was dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked over the vase. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, I don't even know.
This is all half-ass.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. Those wakefulness is a familiar feeling by now, and it's almost comforting. Damn. I'll go ahead and start the cross-examination. Jesus. Huh. Using anyway to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man. The guitar case. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked over the vase. I don't know. I suppose I opened it during... I don't know. Honestly, I'm just gonna... You know what? Not a big deal though, right? This case was empty after all. As for why I opened it, I don't even know. You know what? No. No. It's just, I don't like her whole statement about this because it's so terrible. Because she does have that calm demeanor, but honestly, her words are not wording. We're going to present the guitar case again. Because like empty, but there is some water on the top bears Kurita's fingerprints. She didn't open it anyways. It was Kurita who had opened it.
Objection!
There is no way you were the one who opened that guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Ah! Sherlock Holmes. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. What is it, Miss Andrews? You should have assumed that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you I was wearing gloves at the time? Look it. She's kind of proving her as the Nickel Samurai. Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at that time? It was the night of the ceremony award. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Yeah, the wine glass. We have your proof right here, the wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on the wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off, you would have poured yourself this glass of juice. Wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? Now you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Dude, her fucking glass is broken. Dude, that's one speedy repair for the glasses. Order! Order! My bless. Looks like they hit the nail on the head. It looks like you hit the nail on the head. Huh? I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here. Yeah, because it probably snuck in the costume that way. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was the studio. Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean. It was the white guitar. Wait, the bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
I would admit, be unnatural for someone to do that. So, the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact on the case. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's unusual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court toward the unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided.
Objection!
No, Your Honor. Please recall Miss Andrews testified the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in the photo of the crime scene. Am I sure that this guitar case was in some relation to the murder?
Objection!
Damn. If you are so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claims, correct? Please enlighten us to why the guitar case has anything to do with any of this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in that case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest a bright black guitar? So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate your head of yours. You shouldn't prove anything yet. Now then, let's behave. Or let's have it. What was inside the case? It was the outfit. Yeah, see, because that outfit totally would be able to fit in there. This is the photograph. Yes, but it's important. But what is important is what is in the picture, Your Honor. In the picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside the guitar was a Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right. Are you saying that the witness opened the costume case to take out a costume? That's what insane point would there be in doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support any preposterous idea? Just outside the door was investigator for photographer who was starving for a big scoop. In the end, she managed to get a shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, have we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy, speak first, think later, which honestly, it's fair, to say the least. So the real murderer was hiding inside the costume. Wait, 1 second, Your Honor. Nickel Samurai costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. So why would something of that defendant be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True. That is a bit baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What is this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? It was a spare costume, more than most likely. Mr. Guard did not take this costume off during his break period. In the case, the costume we're talking about is a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that the night of the murder, there was 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? If you mean that the victim himself had brought this bear to the ceremony on purpose, ooh, girl. But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jammin Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What would be the reason for being such a peculiar act? And there lies the stickling point.
Objection!
What are you mumbling to yourself now? Have you been rambling this whole time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Ow, my back. Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was the press conference ticket. Because remember, there was supposed to be a post-ceremony stage, oh my god, there was supposed to be a post-conference. However, there wasn't, because one, Ungard didn't know about it because he was dead tired. And two, what's it called? Yeah, he didn't know about it. And so it was literally made right there and then. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something to the conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ungard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, I can only, oh my god, I pressed too much. None other by the victim, Mr. Juan Kurita himself. Oh, he was the one who's supposed to hold it. The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for the very conference. Mr. Kurita was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Are we going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know either. What I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something? But by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as a Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Ungard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession. That's a public disclosure. Huh. Miss Andrews, I can see why you're proposed at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him. That was also me. You. Juan had bet everything on the Jammin Ninja this year. And if he had lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. Oh. That's what he thought anyway. Whoa. I wonder why. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? What do you know about the secret of Mr. Ungard is Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Ah, I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all. Protect Mr. Ungard? Because he was the last because he was the last client for Celeste Impacts. And she was so into Celeste Impacts. And because of everything that happened, remember? Yet again, another strange but bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. Witness testimony. Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't with an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, that the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager. Felt like I'm protecting him. Interesting. Well, I'm a logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit. In the defense, can you find no fault with the testimony? Am I ready to make a ruling? Please keep this in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this turn of logic upside down. For a moment, I saw the crime scene. I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. He had to kill Juan no matter what. Wait, hold on. But he was dead-ass tired. He was out cold like a light. Hold on. He didn't have an alibi for when he was doing that. Is true. He doesn't have an alibi technically, but... No, actually he does. Technically, he has 2 sets of alibis. He has Old Bag because she saw him leave the room. No, she saw the Gem Samurai leave, and yeah. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. Let me press right here. You hardly call the knife defensive evidence? Or decisive evidence? The fingerprints on the knife could have very well be a clever camouflage. Or clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer had ripped the button off of the Gem Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? The button was found in the pleats of Mr. Matt's hakama. Isn't that correct? And I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Interesting. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. The button was torn off during the fight with Matt. Hold on. Do we not have any more evidence? We do. No, he was strangled though, that's the thing. Yeah, time of death was A15, caused strangulation and then stabbed. The button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt. No, he was strangled to death and then he was stabbed with a knife.
Objection!
This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the victim's cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stabbed to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button was on has the victim's blood on it, which means that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it was impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was already strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button has ripped off during the fight of during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Oh, wrong one. Order, order! But what is the meaning of this? Oh my god. What is the meaning of this, right? What? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you a simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off, and what purpose did it serve? What purpose? We know that this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does that mean that you know the murderer wanted to do with this button? Yeah, he wanted to, well, she wanted to pin the crime on guard. There is only one logical reason for doing something like that, and it's to pin the crime on Mr. Ungard. There is no other way anyone would have, oh my god, there is no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Edgeworth was set up, or Ungard, by the real killer, of course. Oh, we have ads in 2 minutes. Crap. And the real murderer is, well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? Finally, I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down, not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned this, who planned to frame on guard, is Adrian Andrews, because she had, like we've all been saying this whole time, she had every right to do so. Oh my god. Holy crap. It wasn't every right, but still, she had a big motive. Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you. You are Mr. Kurita's killer. What? Order, 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 Mr. Wright. This is a very great matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your claim? Any evidence? Oh. All the evidence points to Miss Andrews. How preposterous. Who would stick any of that on me? I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then, what about this? What about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death, and it was used to throw suspicion onto Ungard naturally. The knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could have only been taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Then, what about the button? What was found? That was found in Matt's Hakama. This button was removed from the victim's body after he had died already. The only people who would have done so would have been the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Ungard was the real killer, there is no way he would have been put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Yep. The only person who could have done this or put this button into Mr. Ungard's Hakama is the person who went to wake up him from his nap, which is yet you again, Miss Andrews. I see. So what about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Oh my. The costume was used to hide the real killer's identity to flee the scene. And now, who would have known that it was... I can't think, I can't read. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could have only been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, But Miss Andrews, the fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And if it was you who had proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time, that's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she had the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And on top of that, it was all there on this photo. The photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this Nickel Samurai is Mr. Enguarde. He would have been too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, oh no, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, aren't you? Are you not? Please stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? That there's a law. Ooh, it says I can't be forced to testify about something. And if it can incriminate me. Oh shit, dude. Dude, that's an Uno reversal right there, bud. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us a way to avoid self-incrimination. By allowing the witness to not testify in a testimony that can be damaging themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something what most people would think about on the spot. Fair enough, fair enough. Actually, thinking back to yesterday, in Mr. Enguarde's room, Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think apart about what we just discussed, understood? All right. That's it. That's when Francesca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things look bad. You did a good job improving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done. What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything that the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Well, that's true. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Miss Kurita. But we do! We have a reason! Fuck! Okay. Fuck. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Kurita? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews? Yep. If you do that, then it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, maybe not. There was nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. Damn, dude. No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation. If I think we have to reach a certain point, a certain conclusion at this point, Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully sustained with a solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there is only one thing the court can do. That is to declare a recess. Fuck. Recess. I request both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow... no, tomorrow. We can't do tomorrow. Maya's in trouble. We don't have tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. And if I don't get that verdict, then Maya... Ooh? Things are getting heated! But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, the court... Ooh, girl! Yes, Edgeworth. Fucking got it. I'm pretty sure he was wondering why Maya wasn't here, and it's Pearly. Well, in this case, Mia, but Pearly. Is it not impossible for this trial to continue? Mr. Edgeworth, what are you? It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about, Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and it can't be helped, but think how unnatural that is. Usually, when one finds a body, they're shaken up and not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Don't speak if you want... Ooh. Don't speak if you want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions. Oh, testify? Oh, I didn't read the other part. Shit. Your Honor, I will like to request that this witness testify again. As what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the recess. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. The glass of juice. I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and I saw it in a messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting there, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I just went to pour him some juice. And when I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked over the glass. So you poured the glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say that in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Girl! Phoenix, please be careful here. I'm gonna be careful as fuck, dude. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and I saw it in a messy state. And Juan was sitting, slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, I thought he was dead and didn't cross my mind. When he was sitting, slumped over, tired looking in the corner. Oh, bud. That's the thing, though. She would have definitely noticed the knife, obviously, as soon as you go in. Unless you're like super not focused and paying attention, then that's understandable. I saw him sitting there, thought that he was dead didn't cross his mind. To be honest, I thought he just fainted or something, so I went to pour him a juice. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna present the crime photo. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, guide map. Crime photo. This one? Yes, it is.
Objection!
So, you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this was what you saw when you discovered the body? Bam, right there. Ah! What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There is a knife sticking out straight from Mr. Kurita's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought he was a dead man. Well, you see, I doubt a single person in the world would have mistaken this for a person who fainted. And then nonchalantly go to pour something to drink. Your point is? Miss Andrews. Your testimony just now is all but one giant lie. Ooh, got her. And your lie was proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. No. Judge. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt Engarde, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Miss Andrews, are you trying to have some composure? It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. Oh, Purse, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. My name is Lanu Tudon, and I usually stream whenever I can and whenever I can. In this case, I'm currently playing Ace Attorney 2, and we are on the last episode in the middle of pointing the blame on her. What's poppin'? Nothing much, bud. How you doing? What were you playing exactly? And also, thank you for bringing your community over to me. I appreciate it. Oh, no, the shout-out didn't go through, so let me shout you out. Alright. I'm alright. Oh, okay. Well, if you need to also raid and dash, don't be afraid to do so. I was playing Chrono Trigger. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I hate dinosaur people. Oh, no. Okay, let me get you the shout out real quick. Let me see. Because I didn't have my streamer bot open, so I have to get you one. Oh, here it is. See if it goes. Oh no. Oh my club bot is not working. Come on, buddy. I love your little bats, by the way. They're so cute. Okay, it looks like it's not working. Lovely. Well, either way, I hope you are having a wonderful day. And to all my people who are not following Person Purse, you should totally do so. I had a bud make them. Ooh, nice. Quick. It's chill. Okay. Just want to make sure. It was Matt. I swear. He's the one who killed Juan. But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because... Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify again, girl. There is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Engarde's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is this it? Is this over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. But now I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Engarde.
Objection!
Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. The witness has yet to speak the absolute and real truth. That is true. She has not said anything about her being the killer or not. The absolute real truth are what are you? Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt Engarde will go free in his place. You will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking? Wait! A mysterious guy on the phone is telling us that we need to prove that he's guilty. She, on the other hand, was told with the card in her purse that she needs to prove that he's guilty. So what's going on here? What's making sense, honestly? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francesca von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto her words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself? Then, right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Matt Engarde will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, all right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty, and that's my only priority. It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help me, please. Someone help me. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck is going on? Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The court can't continue like this. Therefore, I would like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right. I suggest you really think carefully about this and think about what the witness did or what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't it obvious? There's no one else it could be except that woman crying over there, right? Oh my god, dude. Hype Wes. Come on now. What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix, right? Request a non-guilty verdict. No. Yeah, okay, force Andrews to testify because that's all we could do. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no other way to do that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you really are hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. Ungard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want the trial to end? But be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. I commend you are trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that this defense theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped that things wouldn't come to this. However, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls onto my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Mr. Edgeworth! This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Oh my god, he's bringing it up. Stop, please. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. It's a secret of her dependent nature. Fuck, dude. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please stop. I beg you. If people find out, I'll... If you're going to say that you choose death, then that is no concern to me. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? Dude. However, before you die, I will put the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Oh, crap. I'll talk, but please help me. Nothing matters anymore. My crime. Damn. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. And then I realized he was dead, and that's when I formulated my plan. And I made sure there was no one in the hallway. I had made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just then, I had finished and was returning to Matt's room, and I had a bit of inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai's costume. It was the inconvenience. Stab the body with a knife? Why would you do that? Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all this? It might take this to court a little while to understand, but... This is the truth. The real killer is Matt. And the scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Last time. So was he the one who killed her mentor? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Carita, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt Ungard for the murder. And this is her crime. How is that possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get your shock off. Shock off. Your shock and commence the cross-examination. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. And when I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off a button. So, you were the one who stabbed the victim with a knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. And then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look more of a suspect. So you thought to rip one off of one of his buttons and then plant it in Mr. Unguard's hakama. Yes, that's what I planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? Then I finished, and I returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai. He had a bit of an inconvenience. An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera set at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet it was my spike. Bet my spikes it was Lotta. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. Oh god. That's Mrs. Oldbag for you. Fair enough. And I already had been caught and made into a big scoop for the certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself to get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. You were the one who prepared that costume, aren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it in Juan's guitar case that day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is the secret? That I don't know. Anyhow, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave my fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I don't want to concede, but this testimony, if it rings truth, I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please don't apologize to me. We are both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry. First saw him, I thought he would faint, honest. But you tell from the state of the room that there must have been a fight. He had a scarf around his neck. But the scarf was in part of the Gemma Ninja's costume, so I didn't think any about it. I didn't think it was strange. His head was also tilted down, so I couldn't see his face that well. And that's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated the plan. So, is this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. And I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakness, a weak point to the world. Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought, I should go forge some evidence to pin this crime on Matt. So, the forged pieces of the evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was plant the knife. Once I made sure there was no one in the back hallway, I made sure to dash back to Matt's room. That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it, and I thought I'd use it, and then the police would certainly turn their eyes toward him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time, and I slipped in and took the knife and returned to the scene of the crime. I knew. I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Enguarde's room and planted the button. Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. And then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word! What does this all mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Enguarde. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francesca, huh? She said that I would be under no circumstances confess to what I had done. And that if I had kept quiet, Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain that she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor, the defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it's not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish the witness was the culprit. Let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Fuck. Oh no. Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand. It had my interest for quite some time now. Oh, what is it exactly? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about it. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now I found this in the room of that day. The room? That day? Yes. I found the card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there, right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body. I suppose I must have been unconsciously slipped into my pocket. But it's not as if the card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? I think we're wrong there. There's a magical assassin, kidnapper, magical conjuring going on right now. Yeah, I guess not, but it's a little strange. It's a strange card, if you ask me. But as for the clue to the case, I don't see why. Witness, that card! Give it to me, hurry! Edgeworth? You have no idea you're stupidly yet inadvertently done! This, I can't believe you hid this from me all the time! I didn't mean to! What is this all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. Hey yo, that card, what in the world does it mean? And to be continued. Oh my. All right, so I think this is going to be a great place to end. We are getting into the thick of it. Ooh, I can't wait to play. So we are going to save it here. Save it here. I think this is a good place to end.